No, that's not a puppy, that's a piggy. When a cow, it's for the faux fur. Oh, hey! Hi! Wilma Fingerdoo here with the Fingerdoo review of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9, Episode 5. And all I have to say is, Jorge, drink me! What is that? It's so delicious looking. It's called a fuzzy ginger for the fur challenge. Okay. It's peachy and gingery. Because you know I love me some peach schnapps. All right, so let's get into it. We started out by saying goodbye to Charlie Hides. Well, I mean, we did. The girls didn't think to. Trinity couldn't wipe her lipstick off the mirror fast enough. And the rest of them all seemed to be more interested in debating her choice not to lip sync. Trinity had a few things to say about it, but I think she still had a gob on her from Eureka, throwing her under the bus. Seriously. But before the girls could get into it again, yes, we all saw Untucked, there was Ru in another snappy suit, giving them this week's mini challenge. Now let me just have a moment to say thank Ru and all the goddesses that are, because we've all been complaining about this season of RuPaul's Drag Race. Where's the pit crew? Honka, honka, honka. Where are the mini challenges? Shade, shade, shade. Well, they were both back in this episode. It was drag selfie time. The girls had to go and do their quick drag in swimsuit attire and pose with the new pit crew. Well, Jason's still there because apparently he's got nowhere else to be. But the other two were delicious, especially Yadir. Oh, I love a man with a space in his teeth. That means there's more room in his mouth. I'm just saying, how rude. All right, so the girls had to take swimsuit selfies, and they did. And the winner was, surprise, surprise, Alexis Michelle. I don't know. I think Ru gave it to her because she put the pit crew through some unnecessary activity. And I'm not going to make a joke about her weight and those poor boys having to pick her up, because I'm going to let Peppermint's face do it for me. That's what I thought too. Seriously. I thought for sure that Valentina's Miss Venezuela was going to win, because that's quick drag. Her quick drag doing Homeboy Cholo was still more pretty than some of the other girls, God bless. But there was no time to linger, because Ru had this week's main challenge. Another musical extravaganza, and this one all about the Kardashians, God bless. And because Alexis Michelle won, she got to cast the musical. Well, of course, she picked her favorite role, and probably the best role for the musical, Kris Jenner, the momager. But she made some interesting choices. I'm just gonna say shady choices. I mean, there were some fun choices. I mean, she let Sasha Velour be Firecrotch, and she let Trinity be Paris Hilton. Maybe because she's friends with them, maybe she's not threatened by them. Whatever. She let Valentina and Farrah be the pretty ones. Again, maybe she's not threatened by them. But she gave Cynthia Lee Fontaine the lead character, Kim Kardashian. And Cynthia Lee has enough trouble with her own language, never mind English, and we all watched her last week under the tutelage of Charlie Hyde. It was very public and very awkward, and I think Alexis Michelle took a page out of that script and stuck it into this Kardashian musical one, because poor Cynthia Lee, always the professional, always a charm, not a word off her lips. Okay, fine, I'll do that. Then in the camera, shine! I have to say, Peppermint, she got a weird casting too. Britney Spears. I mean, no offense, why can't Britney Spears be black? I mean, I'm sure on some levels she's had enough. Well, I'm not going to say it. But seriously, I mean, there's no reason that it can be played by somebody else. And I'll tell you right now, although Peppermint wasn't too happy about that casting, another professional. She may have felt awkward about it, but she was going to turn it out. She wasn't going to let anyone see her sweat, and she was just going to do her job, which she did. The final odd casting, though, had to be poor Nina Benina Brown. And I'm going to say, Nina, you blew your wad early in this episode. You went on and on and on about wanting to play Black China. Well, if I wanted to throw you off your game, because I know the judges already like your crazy padded bum, I would have done what Alexis Michelle did, except that I'm not that shady. I would have totally have given you a part that you didn't like, because I know how emotional you can get, which you did. You totally got up in your head, and it was so disappointing, wasn't it? Watching poor Nina Benina Brown. I have to say, I was even shocked when she and Aja were getting rehearsed and ready that Nina hadn't even unpacked it. I mean, she didn't think she'd have been there that long. Seriously, it's sad when somebody's been beaten down by their own theater of the mind, regardless of what actualities are going on around them. we are our own worst enemy, and nobody is a better example of that than Nina. She's so unique and so fabulous, and I just wish that she would just realize that for herself, because it doesn't matter what other people say, especially when you're winning challenges. Keep going, Nina. I love you, girl. Just get that gob off you. Nobody likes a sour puss. I am so serious. So, the girls had to rehearse with Mr. Todrick. Oh, it's so adorable. And I have to say, he was a great director and choreographer. He really helped those girls make some good choices. He kept Eureka from being a little too camp, and I think that he really let the girls know how important this was, especially Pheromone and Valentina. I mean, Valentina didn't seem to have any problem with clapping her hands. She could have probably done it much better with no one else there. She's probably used to it. Farrah just seemed to be too overwhelmed by everything. I think standing and looking good is as high up as that bar goes. And I'm not saying that's not a skill, but once you ask her to do something else while she's doing that, it all starts to fall apart for Farrah. I have to say, I would have picked Peppermint for the win just because her Britney Spears was that good. I didn't for a second question who she was doing. There was never a moment while she was on stage where I was like, who's she trying to be? What's going on? I accepted it fully. It was perfectly fine. Trinity's Paris Hilton was as vapid as she really is. Firecrotch, well, I haven't seen her so long. That probably could have been her for all I know, as Lindsay Lohan last time she was in public. But the rest of the girls, I was very disappointed with Nina. When she was on camera alone, doing her thing, fantastic, but she just stood there for the rest of the night. Alexis Michelle killed it, of course, with her Kris Jenner. She looked like her. She did just the right amount of stuff. It was perfect. And she was almost on her way to her first win, which she was chomping at the bit for since day one. But she got shut out by her own crappy wardrobe, Sweet Marie and the Ships at Sea. I was so surprised. I didn't mind the mink coat and the hat. I thought when she was going to open it up, it would be some gorgeous, sparkly, nude, illusion, fantasy realness. But no, it was ice capades under there, and a rehearsal outfit at best. With gladiator boots, I would have at least rolled the gladiator boots in some glitter or something just to make them sparkle. I'm just saying. Another girl whose wardrobe kind of held her back, Peppermint. I think she could have probably won this if she hadn't have been so basic with her pink bottom. Again, what is it with her and pink bottoms? I'm just gonna write her a personal message and find out. Other girls that had trouble, of course, Farrah. She was on the bubble, poor sweet thing. And for somebody from Vegas, she should never play poker. She has no poker face whatsoever. She was upset when they were criticizing other people. She was upset when they were criticizing me. They were upset when they called Eureka down. Who else gagged? I mean, I have to say, while watching the show, when she was in the workroom with her crutches, I was, what's going on with Eureka? Why now all of a sudden crutches? That's not good. And then later in that episode, she stopped making up her face and waddled over to Sasha and Valentina to apologize to them specifically about last week's little spat over an eating disorder faux pas that Eureka was alleged to have made. I thought it was lovely that she made that attempt. I also was amazed at how many people have eating disorders. I thought, there was only a few of us, but no, we're all apparently, the whole gay community, eating disorders and leather. That's what binds us. I didn't know. But anyway, I thought it was really great that Eureka took that moment to apologize to the girls and smooth that over. But it was also fortuitous because they kicked her off, didn't they? I was shocked. Were you shocked? I was shocked. I mean, RuPaul's only left the stage once before, and it wasn't good then either. And then she's only called one other person up, Wilma, and it wasn't good either. And then she called up Eureka. I have to say, Farrah dodged a bullet this week. That was terrible. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. But gee whiz, I swear to God, if she put her on roller skates to get some movement out of her, something, 1,000 volts in the stage might help her hop and skip a little more. I'm just saying. Because she would have gone home if it hadn't been for Eureka. Sweet thing. Shea Coulee, of course, won with her black china, which I'm sure made Nina Bonina Brown feel so much better about those choices as well. Who do you think is going to go next week? If Nina doesn't pull it together, it could be her. What about Farrah? If she ends up at the bottom again, it's definitely going to be her. Either way, you got to tune in to Out TV and Out TV Go next Friday to find out. Then when you're done, come back and see me, and you and I'll compare notes. Till next week, miss me. Mwah! Seriously. I love it.